Hello everyone, Justin here, and today we're going to talk about drawing ovals. So ovals are basically circular objects that are no longer being seen in direct front view. An example would be the wheels of a car. So let's look at the wheels of a car here. So we've got two wheels, front and back, got the fenders, and I'll just draw this real quick. And you've got the wheels in side view, and they are circles. As you look at this car in front view, like so, got the headlights. These wheels here are now rectangles when you're looking at it in front view. So the circle in this view is right here, and it's no longer a circle, but it's a line, straight line. But when you look at it in 3/4 view, meaning it's just turned a little bit, you've got the wheel wells here, the back wheel well, and headlights. This wheel is no longer a circle nor a line, but an oval. Just like that. And I'll just go ahead and make it more three-dimensional. And if this front wheel is turned a little bit to the right, or actually to our left here, this oval is actually more of a circle because it's now turned even more. So let's do it like this. There's our oval, and it looks like the wheel's turned. And here's the other wheel. So how do we draw these ovals? Well, let's look at a circle first. We've got a circle, more or less, and we've got two axes, vertical and horizontal. As we rotate the circle along this axis here, the distance from the center to the edges here will shorten. So let's draw the axes again. Here's our height of our circle, and now this axis will be shorter, so we'll call that the short axis. And if we connect these lines, we have an oval, and now we can call this the long axis of the oval and this the short axis. The more this circle gets turned, the narrower it becomes. The short axis becomes narrower. So again, we'll make the height the same, but the short axis is much shorter. We'll connect these like that, and you've got a narrow oval. These ovals can also be called ellipses, and you can find ellipse drawing guides, plastic drawing guides, in order to be able to draw these exactly. For example, when you're drawing something that's very technical and you want it to be super accurate. So as you try to draw these ovals, what you want to pay attention to is making sure, or trying to make sure, that each side, each corner, quadrant, is a mirror image of the others. So here I'm drawing each of these sections separately, trying to pay attention to keeping them all the same, trying to make it all the same, and looking out for flat spots. So one way to start is to draw the axes first, as I mentioned before, and try to draw the oval based on that, and see if you can make it fit the axis correctly. As I mentioned before, you can go ahead and draw your guidelines first, and always draw deliberately. So as you draw the oval, pay attention to how, always be constantly looking also at the other lines that you already made, and try to match them up. Okay, now one thing you can also practice is to draw the oval first, like this, and then draw in the axes. So here's our oval that I just drew, and then go and draw the axis, the long axis here, cutting it in half, and then draw the short axis, and that'll give you the center point of your oval. Okay, one way to practice these is to draw two diverging lines, say like this, and find the midpoint of these two lines. So here's the middle between the two lines, and here's the other midpoint. Draw this line here, connect the two lines to connect the two dots together, and now you want to draw your ovals perpendicular to the center line. So let's draw some long axis lines here, because that'll show us the direction of our ovals, and practice your ovals. And you can vary the size of these ovals. Here I'm making the ovals just a little bit wider than before. Here's a narrow one, and getting wider as we go here. And here I'll try to draw a circle. Okay, now as you try to draw these ovals, you'll find that there will be a certain orientation of the paper in relation to your hand that's more comfortable as far as drawing these ovals. For me, drawing an oval in this direction is the easiest, and if you look at it, the long axis, which is right here, is parallel to my whole arm. So I'll draw it this way, but if I need to draw an oval in a different direction, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and move my wrist, because that's the base that I work from. When I draw an oval, I use my fingers primarily in my hand because I have a lot more control. When I draw an oval, I keep my wrist in one spot. If I need to change the orientation of the oval, I'll go ahead and just move my wrist so that I'm always using that same motion, like this. Notice where I have my wrist. So let's go back to this oval right here. I'm gonna just darken it a little bit. If I need to change the orientation of the oval, what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and move my wrist so that I always have the same motion where the long axis is parallel to my arm. Here's my arm, and the long axis is parallel to my arm. So if I need to draw a different orientation, say this way, I will go ahead and move my wrist so that I can use the same basic motion to angle that oval. If I need to go this way, I'll move my wrist over to the right and draw my oval. When it gets to be a little bit extreme, I will go ahead and turn the page like this. So again, the same motion, and now I can draw the oval easier. Now, having said that, it's still good practice to draw ovals in all sorts of different directions without moving your wrist. So let's try drawing an oval here. Draw this way. Just like that. Just paying attention to the shape, making sure that if you drew the axes, they're more or less equal in all four quadrants. Alright, there you go guys. I hope this video helped you some and learned a few things. Just remember, keep practicing, draw lots of ovals, and remember that you're never gonna draw it perfectly. If you need a perfect ellipse or oval, use an ellipse guide, especially for technical drawings. have fun, and I'll see you in the next video.